everybody? You guys know me. I'm Harry James. Coming up next, the next couple of minutes, we'll have to preview the final home game for the SWONERS as they try to rebound after a loss at Baylor. And it's against the Iowa State Cyclones, who's had Oklahoma's number in the past in their own right. Preview it next. First, though, speaking of having Oklahoma's number, who was the last Iowa State quarterback to win in Norman? Here's your hint, guys. Remember, it was 2017, the Rose Bowl year. That was the last year Iowa State came in and won. Who was the quarterback for Matt Campbell and company? I find this pretty darn interesting. Plus, everything you need to know about Iowa State, Oklahoma. All coming up next. Boomer Sooner 1982. Welcome back to my show, everybody. My name's Harry James. This is the Iowa State football preview show, as you can see by the logos on top, football helmets. Who was the last Iowa State quarterback to win in Norman? That was the 2017 year, for the Rose Bowl year, if you remember. Quarterback Kyle Kempt was the quarterback for the Sykes. The Oklahoma Iowa State series history. Oklahoma owns the advantage in the 86-game history of the series with a 77-7-2 overall record. But the last win they split the last two of the series, however. Iowa State won, of course, the regular season meeting, earning them the home field advantage last year in the Big 12 Championship with a 37-30 win over the Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma, though, got their revenge when they needed it. In the Big 12 Championship, got it 27-21 in Arlington to earn another ring to put on their bling bling. Pre-game fun. Final time for this, guys. The sports animal, they're always out at O'Connell's. They're on campus. Corner, always a good spot to be on campus corner. Because right across the street, guys, the ref, Toby Rowland, Chris Plank, Gabe's not out there. Teddy, Toby, Plank, Tyler McComas, James Hale, Mike Steely, all those guys, they're out Balfour of Norman, just literally right across the street there from O'Connell's. And the franchise, they are out there just north of the stadium there at the Palace, party at the Palace, and then the party at the Palace, again, just north of the football stadium. And that more than likely will also, by the way, guys, be where Fox Big Noon kickoff will be. You know, this is a big year for me, guys. I got to go to almost every single football game this year, home and away. But a big part of it, big part of it, guys, as far as nationally, was when I was on the Fox Noon kickoff show as part of the stand scanning. I did that when we played Nebraska earlier this year, guys. It's a whole lot of fun, but I got there really early, though. I'll say that. This time, when Big Noon Kickoff will be here, it will be October the 20th. Or November the 20th. Sorry, I don't know why I have October written down. November the 20th. Play-by-play man. Toby Rowland will be on the call on the Sooner Radio Network. Also, he calls basketball and baseball for the Sooners. And is the host of one of those, the Ref shows, is on there from 6 to 9 Monday through Friday. Also on the Ref Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 is his color analyst, Teddy Lehman, who also does his own podcast with Gabe Eichard called the Oklahoma Breakdown. It's pretty good. I listen to it all the time. Speaking of Gabe Eichard, he's on the sidelines with Chris Plank. Gabe Eichard, not only on that Oklahoma Breakdown podcast, but you can also hear him on Big 12 Today, Sirius XM 375. He's on from there from 3 to 5. And then Chris Plank is on there also. He's on the Ref from 9 to 11, Monday through Friday. And is on Fox Sports Radio, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the weekends. And, by the way, is also the other sideline analyst for the football team. What football team? Oklahoma Sooner football team. Their head coach, Lincoln Riley. 54-9 in 63 games. That's an 86% winning clip. 36-6 in league action in 42 games. Again, 86% percentage in that one. Is 4-0 in conference championship games. But 1-3 in his bowl histories. The Sooners have 8 individual Big 12 South championship titles. 2000, 02, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 8, and 10. And has qualified for the championship game the last 4 years when they brought it back. That is 17, 18, 19, and 20. They're going to try to get 21, guys. It's not going to be easy. Iowa State and Oklahoma State, guys, are really, really good defensive teams, and they're both very young quarterbacks. But despite that, back to the preview, guys. 13 conference titles. 2000, 02, 04, 06, 07, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. 2020 was a good year for the Sooners, even with the rough start at 0-2. Turned it around to finish 8-2, 6-2 in the league with 7 straight wins. Second in the Big 12, including a Big 12 championship over Iowa State, one of the 2 losses that they had. They got it, as we already talked about, 27-21 in Arlington to get the Big 12 championship. Stayed in Arlington for the next week for the Cotton Bowl and took down Florida 55-20. Speaking of 20, it is 2020, guys, and the 2020 stats look like this for Oklahoma, averaging 40 points a ball game now with everything playing right. And when everything's playing right offensively, they average 455.3 yards per ball game. Defensively, when they're playing well, they average giving up 24.5 points per ball game and 386.8 yards per ball game. Sooners are 9-1, 6-1 in league play. They did beat Tulane earlier, 40-35. Then beat Western Carolina 76-0. They then beat rival Nebraska 26-13 before taking care of West Virginia 16-13 before finally getting that Kansas State monkey off their back 37-31. Speaking of monkeys, they then played Texas. Got the big win there 55-48 in the State Fair, Texas. Went back home for a home game against TCU. Got the win there, 52-31. They then went to Kansas. Got the win there, 35-23. Victory there. By the way, speaking of Kansas, congratulations, Kansas. Hats off to you. for beating Texas the other day. A much-deserved win, guys. First road win, by the way, for Kansas since 2008, by the way. The Sooners then played Texas Tech. Came back home against Texas Tech. Took care of business there big time, baby. 55-21. Everybody thought that should right their wrongs and get everything back on the right track. And a week later, they lose to Baylor on the road at Baylor, 24-17. That's the last game, guys. Now we'll talk about Iowa State and the Cyclones. The Clones, their head man, Matt Campbell, played for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Panthers in 1998 before transferring to the Mount Union Purple Raiders. Finished there 99-2002. Coaching history from 2011 to 2015, guys. He was at Toledo. That's part of the MAC conference, the Mid-Atlantic Conference, before getting his invite to major power football in the Big 12 in 2016, and still there to this day. Now, while at Toledo and at Iowa State, Coach Campbell is coaching 123 games and has a 76-47 record. That's a 62% winning clip overall. In conference play, he's played 84 games and has a 54-30 record. That's a 64% completion percentage in conference. 2 conference titles for Iowa State. Has the 2004 title tie with Colorado. Colorado won the outright title. Colorado went to the championship. And more recently noted, guys, as we talked about, 2020 regular season champions for Iowa State. Got invited to the Big 12 championship, and then got housed. Got outplayed by Oklahoma, 27-21 in Norman. Could have been housed, but we just couldn't take the lid off the carpet in the first when it came down to it. 2020 was pretty good for Iowa State. 9-3, 8-1 in league play. First place in the Big 12. Their bowl win, Oregon beat them in the Fiesta Bowl, 37-34-17. For 2021, another good year for Iowa State. 6-4, 4-3 in league play. They beat UNI 16-10, victory there. They then lost to Iowa, their annual Iowa meeting. Lost it 27-17. A lot of people thought that this would be the year, guys, that Iowa State would finally beat Iowa. Didn't happen. But you know what? They got back on the right track, beating UNLV at the Alliant Stadium, the home of the Raiders. Beat UNLV 48-3 in that neutral site game, before being held their first conference loss, 31-29 to those pesky Baylor Bears that beat OU. They then won Kansas 59-7 in Ames at Iowa State. At Kansas State. 33-20. Home game against Oklahoma State, 24-21. Started feeling good about themselves, playing well. Then they ran into West Virginia and lost it 38-31. Got back on the right track against those pesky Longhorns that are always annoying. Got them 30-7. They then lost their last game 41-38. The loss comes, guys, a 65-yard bolt from Tech. That's right. You heard me right on the videos, guys. 65 yards. Oh, baby. What a Boot on him, guys. Offense for 2021 averages 32.5 points per ball game. And the yards per ball game is at 434.7. Defensively, Iowa State gives about 20.5 points per ball game and about 306.8 yards per ball game for the clones of Iowa State. All right, guys, that will do it. Don't forget about the big noon kickoff, guys. Get your posters ready. Bob Stoops will be on his pregame before heading up. I'm pretty sure he'll be in his little booth, his box. Before that, though, Rob Stone, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Brady Quinn, all of them will be in Norman. Pretty sure it'll be in the same spot that it was there, guys, right in front of McCaslin as you're heading into the football stadium. At least that's where it was for Nebraska. All right, guys, thanks for watching. You guys know the rest. You can catch this on all my other videos on YouTube, Boomer Sooner 1982. Also, Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or on the Twitter machine, @HypeManHarry. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Boomer Sooner, everybody. I'm out.